Hello, hello, my lovely Geminis. Welcome to Vivid Vibration Tarot. My name is Christina, and I'm going to be doing your journal read for the upcoming month of November. I hope that y'all are doing well. Let's see what's going on with my Geminis. The ocean, the shadow, the king, the cave, the village. Jesus Christ, y'all with the village. Gems, I love you. Okay. Okay. The cave, agape, the ocean, anima mundi, the village, shadow, and the king. Oof. Okay, so gems. I feel like this is all good. It's okay. Everything's okay. But you know, I think that the village has really been a card that's been in y'all's reads like a lot, and I think that you know part of that is that you know you care about these people, right? It's not like, I mean, the idea of the village is that you can't grow out of it, but you've been there, you grew up in it, right? So it's hard to just let it go, and that served as a point of contention for you. You know, almost like this loyalty to people who you knew were holding you back, and having to really deal with that. That's real. But you know, like bring it into a close. You know, figure it out, sort through it all. You know, bring it back into balance. Bring yourself back into balance. And I want to say, you know, just like making this decision, this, you know, I've got to deal with this, like holding on to this idea, you know, like I have to, if I'm going to move forward, I have to, and bring things into balance, I have to let this idea go, you know, like bring it to a close, like it served its purpose. I want to say, you know, like I almost feel like you need a hug, you know, like I know you loved these people, and I know that you're upset at what all of these changes mean. I don't exactly know what changes those are, but gems, it feels like you're going through some changes, and you're having to really sort through why it is that you're holding on to this, and why I think it is that you're holding on to it. At least what I'm getting right now is this idea of a sense of loyalty, and a sense of growing up with them. You know, like, yeah, they were shitheads, but so were you. You know, like will you ever, almost like, will I lose that part of myself if I walk away? And really having to like deal with all of the things that means, and having to gain an understanding into like what that means for you. You know, and the cave is the idea of a place of intimacy. So, you know, I feel like there's been a relationship that's been out of balance because of the fact that you've been holding on to something that was keeping you from moving forward. And, you know, like, I don't know if it was just like, I want to say just like going out with the boys and you putting yourself in situations and scenarios that were like blatantly disrespectful to your person, or, you know, and just like recognizing the fact that you have to like step outside of that, or, you know, like in a place of work, like you're working with your friends, and you know, you're getting held back at work, and so you have to really like remove yourself from that, and you start to move forward, and they're staying where they are, and you feeling a little bit guilty about it. You know, I mean, like, this could play out in a number of ways, but it does feel like whatever it is that you're pulling away from, there's an idea of guilt associated with it, as well as this like recognition that the decision that you're making is being made because it's going to bring you into balance, and it's going to allow for you to experience that next level of your life in a more intimate, sincere manner. Bleh. And that's what I've got here for my gems so far. Okay, let's see what else we get. My Geminis. The Seven of Swords and the Seven of Cups, which is this idea of like looking around at what you have and realizing that it's not all that you have it built up to be in your mind, right? So that plays into the idea of what I was just saying with the whole, like you feel this guilt, like I grew up with them and I do that, you know, but when you look at it sincerely, what you see is that you're not getting anywhere. You know, what you see is that there's a lot of lack that's associated with it. And that's motivating you to really kind of rise up to the occasion. And again, you know, Two of Pentacles, partnership again. I mean, I guess it's the first partnership card, but second time it's coming through. You know, making a decision that's going to bring something into balance. And I want to say it's a relationship, or possibly, I mean, you know, Two of Pentacles, it could be a work environment as well. So take it how it resonates. But it's bringing something into balance that was out of balance because you were having a hard time letting go of something because you had this like emotional, like attachment to it still. Okay, I feel like we're not getting a whole lot more, and we're only 6 minutes in. Let's do some Hidden Realm. It is so windy. Okay. The Ace of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the Moon, and the Four of Swords. It's the same thing again, just this idea of feeling confused about letting something go, feeling like you're missing out, you know, like I don't know how I feel about, you know, I just feel like you're just really connected in a way that is just leaving you feeling really torn about moving forward and releasing the lack. Like you're just really confused about what you're missing out on if you let go of all of the nothing, you know. But it's a nothing that you hold dear to you. It's a nothing that, I'm sorry, it's not a nothing. I apologize. I just talk sometimes. That's all I do. Here, anyways, I don't know. But anyways, it's just that idea of feeling torn, feeling confused, having to follow your intuition towards, you know, this new truth, which I think is the fact that, you know, you're not getting anywhere and you have to take what you've gotten from it and move forward because you can't go any further where you're at. And even though you don't want to let it go, you're acknowledging the fact that it really has to be done. And so you're trying to just follow your intuition because you feel, I want to say, you know, just a little tumultuous and a little torn with it all, you know, and that's understandable. You know, I'm not passing any judgment. Obviously, when you grow up with people, obviously people have impacted your life in a large way, even if you know that you have to like part ways, you know, and maybe that's not entirely, you know, maybe it's just you're not going to be going out and partying with them, you know, I don't know. But however that plays out for you, it's this idea that like you have to kind of move forward and figure it out as you go along, you know, because I think what you know and what's familiar to you is the village. And that's part of the reason it's so hard for you is because you don't know anything outside of it. And so you're like, God, this is, you know, like this feels, I mean, in Geminis, you guys are very heady, you know, like your minds run a gazillion miles a minute. And so when you have to really like trust your intuition, your brain goes crazy And you have a really hard time with that, and I get it. I get it. It's just to say that I get it, but that I think you also get it. And you also understand that you have to make a decision, that you can't keep clinging to something. And you have to find your way through the shadows to get to balance. That comes with a level of intimacy. The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands and the Eight of Swords, yeah. Just this idea of like a message to face your fears, you know, which I'm guessing is kind of this decision that you're making, you know, that you're sharing with another person to bring things back into balance and move with more confidence. I almost feel like it's this, I'm not going to be afraid anymore. I almost feel like it's just a conversation of you just saying, you know what, yeah, I need to let this go. It is holding me back. I need to face my fears, you know? I mean, it doesn't feel dramatic, I guess is what I want to say. I have a very dear friend who's a Gemini, and he has a flair for dramatics. So I giggle. It's just a thing. King of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, and the Lovers. Yeah, I mean, it definitely does feel like a relationship that you guys are kind of, I don't know if you guys are already in a relationship, because I know some of my gems are engaged, and some of them are, yeah, so, you know, it could just be that this decision that you're making, you know, is to really kind of settle in with them in a real way. You know, the King of Pentacles is, you know, a family. So it could be that you guys are really facing the idea or the truth of moving your life in a direction that is expanding your life in a way that's very opposite from the life that you've led so far. You know, and the idea of marriage and children and family really frightens you, and you're afraid to, you know, like, and that's part of the reason that you've held on tightly to something you've been comfortable to, is because this is something that you have to really move through intuitively, and that scares you a little bit. But I get the feeling that it doesn't scare you enough to stop you from doing what will bring your life back into balance. And that's beautiful. God, my air signs are on some love vibes. I love it. Okay, let's do 14 minutes. Let's do some archetypes and we'll call it a read. The One. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you guys love this person. You know, I mean, they're very, very important to you. You have the Lovers and the One. And I think that there's just almost this idea of letting it go, letting not them go, but letting this go, you know, it almost just like this transition in life, you know, like recognizing that, okay, this transition was inevitably going to occur, and understandably I've struggled with it, but I almost feel like it's just that, again, that idea of having a conversation with someone and saying, you know what, it's time. It's, you know, like I have to let that go, and you're right. Because if we're going to do this, whoops, hold on, I got all the wrong cards here. Because if we're going to do this, then we're going to do it right. We have the Judge, the Shapeshifter, the Mask, and the Venom. You know, and really I just want to say that I feel like the Mask and the Venom are just kind of this idea of you not really wanting to let go of being this person with these people, and kind of carrying this mask that you did, but in all reality not doing it, and how that affected that person, you know, kind of left them feeling under attack. And this is, to me, a recognition of the fact that you need to come in correct. You know, of just it. I really get the feeling that there was a conversation that was like, you know, if that's what you want to hang on to, then hang on to it. But you have to let me go. You know, because that's not what I want. And I don't think that they were having that conversation with you in a threatening manner. I think they were being very sincere with you, and I think you recognized the sincerity of what they were saying, but still clung to the familiarity of the life that you've led. And, you know, like, why would I let that go? Well, you don't ever have to let it go. I think that's the point, is that you can choose to stay in that life, but that life doesn't lend to one where love and balance can thrive, where intimacy can really be, you know, I feel like there was an element of mistrust involved with this situation or conversation or journey or path or whatever. But it seems like you guys are really coming to a point where you're starting to just, I want to say, concede, you know, and trust that, you know, I feel like you knew that this time would come. And I think there's a part of you that's relieved that it did. And you don't want to fuck it up. And that's a really easy decision to make, right? I mean, I feel like you feel like, of course, duh. I love it, gems. I hope this resonates with y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again soon.